This one looks like this one just got listed recently, on the 24th, just a couple days ago. As you can see, there's not really a whole lot of, well, there's essentially no daily data to go by. Um, and there's not much hourly either, just a little bit. So when you don't have that much to go by, you break it down to the 15-minute or less to try to find an ideal entry. So we can see that we had a bullish run from the start here, which ended around the time that we were getting a ton of BS news. So that turned it around. Oh, Jarvis, can you not hear me? Hopefully everyone can hear me. All right. Cool. Not sure then. But anyway, so we had a break of structure here. So now we are in a downtrend. That was where the downtrend is looking. So you can see that we had a touch on that downtrend here. This is supposed to be. So just a little quick way, a quick review of how I do my trend lines and stuff. The red ones are acting as resistance, and the blue ones are acting as support. So in this case, the upper ones, so these are acting as resistance for these trends. You can see that we had a touch on this trend line right here. And then you can see there's actually a really nice rejection right here. That you had that bounce off the trend line and then it retraced back. That's probably like a, I'm sure that's probably a retracement level because that's how charts like to work. Yeah, that's a 23.6, I bet. Yeah. Funny how that all works out. So that was a 23.6 retracement. And then it powered through that and broke the trend line and now has come up and came back down to retest that trend line. And you can see that we've had two touches in that area. And now, in this case, this is going to be blue because now it's acting as support. Okay, so now we are currently seeing it come back down and test this trend line again. So if we see this do something along these lines, then that's going to be an indication that we've found a support zone that is working, that is going to continue to go like this potentially, but eventually it's going to do something along those lines. So that would be what I would be looking for out of this pair right now without knowing anything fundamentally about it. I bet if we draw Fibonacci on this as well, we're going to see that, yep, so that's a 618 retracement right here. And that 618 retracement is coincidentally enough in confluence with a support area. Let me see how I want to draw that. So we have one support area right here. Or area of struggle, I should say. Oh, I know what I did. And then this down here is a support. So right along here, we've also got not the strongest area of support and resistance, but between these, around this 38.2 and 61.8, we've got an area of support here. And it was tested as resistance over here a little bit, but I wouldn't necessarily call that a strong resistance. If we wanted to, we can make it orange, which orange, what orange is an area that has been tested both as support and resistance. So blue is support, red is resistance, and orange is something that has been tested as both support and resistance, which I consider the orange zones to be a little bit stronger. So you can see we are seeing a rejection off of the trend line here. I bet if we go down to the 5 minute, you can see that area of resistance here is being, or that area of support now is being treated with respect. So I would expect this to probably follow this arrow, come back up and do something along those lines. We might see it come back down and do something like this. Maybe we'll see we might see a 618 retracement instead, and then we will see it go off. Oh, bollock. I messed that all up. Sorry, guys. All right. So this would be the scenario that when you say go off, does that mean good or bad? So I'm not sure what context I said go off. I'm sorry. Can someone remind me what the context was? Referring to the upward trend. So I would expect it. Oh, well, I might have said it might go off of this level right here. So this orange zone that I have drawn here is what has proven to be an area of support and resistance. So you can see that over here, it was acting as support because it came down, it found this area of support, and then it bounced back off of it. And over here, it's been treating kind of like as a resistance. So that's why it's orange. So I would expect it to come back down and touch this trend line area, come back up and find resistance right around here before coming back down to do a 618 retracement, some kind of retracement here that's going to signify that we are moving in an upward fashion then. And then it should break through this resistance zone. And how are you drawing your fibs? Mine shows the 0 and 100 marks. Hopefully that's not too much of a new question. No, it's not. You can go in here and you can edit the values that you see. So I just don't show the 0 or 100. I usually don't show the 236 either. The main ones that I use are the 786, 382, and 618. The 0.5 is more of a frame of reference. Steve, Head and Shoulders, its potential. You can see that so the thing about the Head and Shoulders that's interesting with these bigger, I'm sorry, a move that I see a lot in the crypto world is that the Head and Shoulders plays out with, and it's weird, you don't really see this in Forex, but you see it a lot in the crypto industry. Oh, I already have a fib drawn there. Ugh. So when you see a Head and Shoulders, it has been my experience that you often see it, the big move, right? So from down here to the top of the head, the big move of that Head and Shoulder, or that that the Head and Shoulders is in comes down and does a 618 retracement before turning around. And I don't know why, because the way that you would trade a Head and Shoulders on this is all the way down to here. And it just has not been my experience that these complete the pattern in that way in the crypto industry. So it's kind of weird. I don't really know what justification there is for it. It's just something that I've noticed. So I would not be surprised if we found support at the 618 retracement of this big move in confluence with the Head and Shoulder pattern, because that's just something that I've noticed. So honestly, who asked? It was George, I believe. This is not a bad time to get into this coin right now, because we have seen several touches on this trend line showing that it's established support, and we are in confluence with a 382 retracement and a 618 retracement. So just that, plus the fact that I thought it was just me. No, Steve. Oh, you got in at 8 cents yesterday. Okay, well, that's good. I think I'm not sure what it's trading at right now, but I think that this is a buy right now. So I told people that I would offer, or I would send some screenshots to the Discord group as I went. So I'll go ahead and post this one in there and open a trade on it, because I think this is a good time to buy this. This isn't one that I've been looking at, but that's part of the fun, right? We're going to say under 890, or we'll say under 900. Yeah. All right. So that is what I foresee for this pair. Is there any questions about this one in particular, or can we move on to the next one? No problem. All right, what's the next coin you guys want to see? I'll just take whatever's in the chat here. I'm flexible. You guys got me for another hour or so. XLM. That's a good one. Oh, TRX. There's a lot of TRX. Let's do TRX. I suspected as much. Oh boy, TRX, man, that's a fun one. All right, let's clean this up. Whew. Everyone get out your Kleenex. Yeah, honestly, I think I jumped the gun on this a little bit, but that's my bad. I let the pressure get to me to deliver a Project Millionaire trade, because that's what the people wanted. But this will turn around, guys. Don't worry. I have a lot of faith in TRX. It's still a top 10 market cap coin. So that is not enough information. So we're going to go back down here. Yeah, if we're patient, guys, I promise we're gonna this one's gonna make us happy. It will. All right. So let's look at more recent price action here. So right off the bat, we see that there's a very strong area of support here. So that's good news. Especially through all the FUD, we've still remained pretty strong here. we've got a pretty clear triangle pattern going on here. Nope, I don't like that. That's a little bit better. So we are nearing the end of, you can see that we had a little bit more up and down movement towards the top. Man, there's all kinds of wicks here. It's crazy. So we've got a lot of triangle pattern going on here. And you can see that it's kind of all squeezing into this area. We have prices starting to condense into smaller and smaller amounts of movement here. And these are each of these candles is an hour segment. Support drives price up. Is that what you mean? Oh yeah, sorry. So I'm gonna have a video on support and resistance, teaching you guys how it trades, so that you can better understand the signals. But yes, so essentially you can think of support as the floor, and you can think of resistance as the ceiling. So price action travels between the floor and the ceiling, and areas of support are represented by places where the price action has come down and found the floor and then moved back up from it. So you can see that this support zone has been respected 1, 2, I mean, there's multiple wicks here. So 2, 4, 6 times there, and as well here. And then all of these right here just riding along the top of the support zone. So this is a very strong major support for this time frame. If you want to go back even farther, I'm willing to bet that, yeah, I mean, if you drag this even farther back, I mean, this was even an area of support way back in, the start of January over here. You can tell that by the wicks that came up and tapped that area. And it's funny how price action will respect historical marks like that. But anyway, so this is a very strong level of support. So I am bullish on this because of the strength of this support and the fact that price is squeezing in between. It's squeezing down into this little triangle, and this is a breakout pattern. So what I'm going to be looking for, you know what, I bet that's also a retracement level. Let's look. Be there. So not really, but let's look at the bigger move. So coincidentally enough, that support zone is in confluence with the 61.8 retracement. So this definitely has a lot of strength right here. So I think we're probably going to see a break and retest of this trend whenever we see this FUD recover. We're going to see it break out of this zone. It's probably going to go up and reach the previous high. So you can see that right here we had a good bit of struggle price action. So it's probably going to come up and touch this area of resistance, right? And then come back down, do a retracement. Oop. Do a retracement in that area before, hopefully, as the market recovers, heading back bullish. You can also see on the sorry, I'm looking at the RSI down here. So we have some divergence here. That's a good sign, right? So we have upward RSI and we had downward trend here. So that to me is an indication of, oh, thanks, Kevin. Stealing my thunder from Baby Pips. Just kidding. All right, so I'm sure you guys will be pleased to hear that I am bullish on Tron right now. I think we're going to see something along these lines. And hopefully we will come back up above our entry and make new... hopefully we'll hit that 100% mark sooner rather than later. We have... Man, so even this is showing a crazy amount of... So this is like big picture stuff right here, guys. And so this is a good sign. Because you can see that we had a very strong bullish move out of this triangle. Oh, that's a little awkward. So we had this area right here where price started to squeeze together, similar to what we have going on right now. And it broke out with 3 really bullish candles before coming back down and finding a retracement level and going into consolidation. So I think we're about to see the next leg up of this. I think we're going to see it break out again. And now that we've established another area of trend resistance, once we break out of that, that's really the last area of resistance that we have. Or at least trend resistance. We are going to hit some resistance around here. And we'll probably hit some more around here. So we aren't totally out of the woods yet. We are going to hit some areas of resistance. But that said, I do think that once we come up here and hit this level, that we'll see the retracement. There's always the retracement. See the retracement. So you guys get the gist, right? We're going to reach those levels again. And when we get up to that point, now we're talking... So that's 100% from this point. I believe our entry was... I don't honestly remember what Satoshi level or dollar figure our entry was. 995? Okay. So we're gonna make this back up, I think, this month. All right, guys. Well, that is Tron. I am optimistic with Tron right now. I think that we're going to hit a couple areas here where it's going to stagger, but we are going to come back up and hit those stronger levels. All right, what's the next coin you guys want to see? Let me actually post this update real quick. You guys can drop your connections. Kevin, you can talk, bruh.
That is true.
Okay. All right. Let's see. We have... Looks like I've got more elf than anything, so I'll do that one next. That is a pretty chart. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I really like this project. Just so everyone knows. That's a perfect example of a... Where is this tool? There it is. Oh, no. That's not what I meant to do. So it's called a cup and handle pattern, also known as the heckin' money teacup. Nah, but so the way that you trade this is you find the curve, you have the pullback from the curve, right around 50. Man, I'm losing all of my stuff. There we go. So that 50% retracement was in confluence with a resistance area. And so the way that you would trade this is once you get a break out of this channel, which is called the handle, once you get a break out of the channel, you would wait for the break. You enter on the retest. So on this red candle that pulled back, you would have entered. And as you can see, that went very well. That went up 60% from that break out of the handle. Anyway, I digress. So what I'm thinking for ELF right this second, we have an established upward trend. Let's see. That's a pretty steep trend, actually. I don't like when they're that steep. Makes me a little nervous. So we have a pretty aggressive uptrend going on right now, which can be a good thing or a bad thing, obviously. It's good because, well, it's going up, but it can be bad if it comes crashing down just as quickly. So we're going to measure the retracements. Right now we're finding support at this 38.2 retracement in confluence with the rising trend. So hopefully we're going to see this do... Hopefully we're going to see this do something along these lines. So for as long as we're in this channel, we are in an uptrend, my friends. Now, if we break out of this channel, we're going to be looking for a drop back down to back down into this zone. So hopefully we're going to continue on this upward pattern. Now, can someone remind me where our entry on ELF was? Or can someone give me the Satoshi level that your entry was? I think I got my phone somewhere. Okay, I'll do waves next. So perfect example of respect for this 38.2 retracement in line with this upward trend. But anyway, this is what I'm looking at. You got it at 8,000? Oh, well that is way down here. 12,403. I think that's around where everybody else got in. Because I think I had you guys enter on when it was handle. But either way, I know we're not at 100% yet. At least my alert hasn't told me that we're at 100% yet. But we've got to be getting close. Oh, darn.
We're around 30% at the moment.
We're at 30%?
Yeah.
Well, dang. I thought we were doing better than that. Maybe I got a 10 on this. You know what? I might have been the breakout itself that I called the trade. That would make sense. Well, either way, I think we're going to see 100% on this. As the market recovers, I think we're going to see this continue to go up. Hopefully, we're going to see it do that. So I think that we'll probably keep going up until we hit that area. So that's going to be, we're at 35% right now. That's another 45%. So it's really just going to depend on if we find resistance here or not. Let's see. This is also one of my longer term holds. I think that this is a really cool project just in general. And we will see 100% on this for sure. Now, whether or not it's going to happen before we see a pullback, I'm not 100% sure. I also cannot see the future. But what I can say is that I think it is likely that we're going to continue this upward trend until we hit the top of this trend. We may find some resistance here. So I will keep an eye on it for you guys. So if we do see signs of a reversal up here, because if we see signs of a reversal up here, oh dear, it's going to look something like probably down to there. It really just depends on how this behaves, but we could see something come back that drastically, and that would also be, let's pull it from here for that kind of move. That would be in confluence with the 50. So that's a pretty big pullback, 60%. So I'll try to exit the trade up here. We may cut this one a little bit short to, we may jump out of this one before we hit 100%. I'm just going to have to play it by ear, depending on how the market reacts up when we get to the top of this trend. But for the time being, I am hodling this coin all the way up to here at the very least, because we may see this enter some kind of consolidation zone here, but I'm very confident that we're going to come back up and find resistance at the top of this trend at the very least, which will be a 70% return. All right. Oh dear. All right. All right. What's next? I've seen APPC, Waves, ICX was in here somewhere, Cardona. Kevin, you don't count. I can chart things up for you anytime. Vibe. All right, I'll try to speed this up and I'll tear through ICX and then APPC. All right, I'll do ICX, APPC, and then probably XVG. I think I've probably got time for 3 more if I hurry before I've got to go to dinner. All right. We'll do, what are we doing first? We'll do APPC first. Where's Steve at? Steve, see that Head and Shoulders I drew way back when? I bet you that did the same thing. See, we found support of the 618 before it started to move back up. It's weird how that works. I don't know why. But anyway, all right. So right off the bat, I can see that APPC is consolidating pretty heavily. That is a good sign. So this area right here is really just one big okay. So we had a break of that trend. This thing is just going all over the place. Okay, so this was one of the ones where we just barely missed the 100%, I think. So we have, well, I mean, just in general, we have reason to think this is going to go back up because we have a support area right here. We've broken out of one of the larger trends, which I bet if you drag it up, yeah, this probably did things up here. So I would say that because we had a breakout right here where that box is, out of that triangle, we have reason to think that this is also going to turn bullish on us. We had a break of structure right here with this large bullish candle, and then now it's kind of coming back down and playing around at the 618 retracement. So in order to trade this, what I would be looking for is a I'm drawing that red box because this is an area of resistance from past price action. So I would say we're going to see price action kind of continue to squeeze within this box. Whether that lasts, however long that lasts, is to be determined. But as soon as we see a break out of this level and break through the top of this box, I'm going to be looking for bullish indicators. Let's see if we've got. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. So you can see that we've had a couple touches of the trend right here as well. 1, 2, 3, and then this hourly segment came down and wicked it as well. So that is also a good sign. Let me get rid of that because that's no longer relevant. So, this would be blue. So I think that we have pretty good reason to think that this is going to go bullish on us again. You can see that there was a large ooh, I like when that happens. That's always fun. All right, so I'm seeing that price action was squeezing into this box right here. Before finally breaking out. And when it broke out with this large bullish candle, we had a break and retest of that area. Oh my goodness. Just all this nonsense right here. And so we're currently coming back up and kind of testing this area of price confusion, I would call it. But we're broken out of this triangle, and we have reason to think that this ascending trend line right here has strong support. So I'm also thinking that this is going to go back up soon. There's a lot of coins that are at major support right now because the market's been in the dumpster and we've had a lot of consolidation. So right now is a really good time to buy a lot of these different positions because I can pretty much guarantee they're all going to bounce back and we're going to have another bullish run pretty soon. All right, let's do XVG. Same story, different coin with XVG. The hype is not on XVG's side at the moment. We have a really large trend up here. As well as a pretty crazy area of support. I hate that I love XVG. Yeah, I have mixed feelings about XVG right now, but I'm holding the rest of what I have forever. I'm putting it in a wallet and I'm never touching it because I've sold so much of my XVG that I regret selling as much as I did. So I'm definitely not playing with it anymore. It's just gonna sit and do its thing forever. I will die with my XVG in the wallet. So this is a good sign. we have a strong confluence with the 618 retracement off of this move. And better yet, we have more triangle patterns, all of the triangle patterns, because as I've kind of stated before, the market it moves in very similar fashions, I should say. Yeah. All right. Oh, no. Quit. All right. So we've got another area of consolidation here. The only thing that I don't like with XVG right now is that we broke structure on this smaller move. So this smaller move had an established support right here. And we broke structure and retested it as resistance. So that's the only thing that I don't like about XVG right now, is that you can see that we came down and broke out of this area of support, came down, retested with a bullish engulfing candle, and retested as resistance, and then came back down. So not the end of the world, honestly, because now we're finding ourselves in, you know what? I don't even know that I want to call that a support. I don't like it. Bye bye. So I'm not even going to call that a support, but it is a 618 retracement. So we may find, and we're back, we may find support here in confluence with the 618, but it's not a pre-existing major support that we can really depend on. So I would say we're probably going to see XVG do something silly like come down, find support, come back up, retest this area of support and resistance, and that will be in confluence with this descending trend line. Okay, so it'll be in confluence with this trend line. It'll come back down, do a retracement of some kind before punching through and heading off to the moon. So that's probably what I'm thinking for XVG. I think we've got a little bit of time, but it is going to move. It's going to move with the market, because when the market starts recovering and people start pumping all kinds of money back into altcoins, we're going to see it come back up and do fun things like head towards the top of this trend line, which is a nice big old 80% from where we're at. So maybe if we go to the moon, yeah, I don't know. I have mixed feelings about XVG right now, but that's what I see. That's what I see with XVG. All right, I have time for one more. ICX. I've heard that one a few times, so I'll do ICX. I am going to start doing this once a week, though, guys. This is just something that I came up with recently that I thought might add a little bit more value to you guys, or for you guys. So I really appreciate you all joining me, and I hope that this has been a fun experience and that you guys have learned something, and I hope that it provides a little bit of extra value for you. Yes, sir, once a week. All right. Oh, no. Come back. Man, I'm having all kinds of problems here. All right. Let me just think about this one for a second, guys. I want to figure out if I want to go with daily. Oh, you know what? We kind of have. This may. I don't know. That's kind of a stretch. I was going to say there might be a inverse head and shoulders here. Where's Steve at? Steve in here? What do you think, Steve? That's kind of messy. That's kind of crazy. Let me go up to... I don't know. There's wicks all over the place. I see it though. Yeah. So I mean, it's kind of there. I don't know if I consider that a head and shoulders. That seems like a little bit of a stretch. There's wicks all over the place, but just for those, yeah, they're kind of curious for the general look of it would be something along the lines of, this is where it gets a little messy. Maybe? I don't know. I kind of doubt that's going to complete. But that would be kind of cool. All right. Yeah, I would just have to complete this shoulder over here. But we'll see. I don't know. That's a little bit of a stretch, I think. So, right off the bat, I like to stay on hourly because it seems to be most relative. So right off the bat, we can see that there is an incredibly strong trend, upward trend here. Ever since it came on, guys, this has been a bullish coin. So we are about to intersect with that trend line again. So that's a pretty good buy opportunity. We also, I'll bet that this is a retracement level. So it's in confluence with the 50, which isn't quite as much or as nice as I would have liked it to be, but confluence is confluence. I am not one to be picky. What works, works. We also have a fairly strong level of support in this area. Well, it's been support, it's been resistance, it's been every number of things. You can see that this has been abused. So it gets an orange mark. We've had all kinds of wicks and consolidation and this, that, and the other going on here. This has been a very volatile coin. You can tell by the insanely long wicks all over the place. But so we have confluence with this area of support with the 50% retracement and the trend line. I think that this is a pretty good buy opportunity right here, especially considering our fantasy that it could potentially complete a head and shoulders. And if it does that, then we're due for this to come back this direction anyway. At which time, if it does complete the head and shoulder, we are going to see really cool things happen. So that's a really strong resistance. I have seen stranger things happen, though. I will say that. So if we see this come up and complete that head and shoulder, and if it breaks and treats and behaves like a head and shoulder, then it's going to keep on going. And I think I said somewhere, I don't remember where, I think I told you guys that this is actually one of my top coins for 2018. So if you're not already in, this area right here is a good time to get in. Because if this head and shoulder completes, we're looking at a 70% move from where we're at, which is actually pretty realistic. So I think we may actually see that complete, Brandon, which would be pretty cool. because that is one messy ass Head and Shoulders. Let's see. We don't really have a top. Well, we kind of do, right? We kind of have a top trend here. So we may see a little bit of resistance around this area. But, we'll actually, let me think for a second. We're going to see. Yeah, we're just going to have to see. But this is still one of my favorite coins for 2018, guys. ICX is the Neo of Korea. And right now it has suffered a lot from the FUD with the whole Korean government being all wacky, but we're seeing signs of recovery. And only other thing that I'd look for would be this trend line right here is in confluence with this resistance zone. So, oh no, I think we're going to see something more along the lines of that. We'll see it pull back and do a retracement. We'll see it do that. We'll probably see it come back into a 382 before coming up and doing that. And if we're lucky and this Head and Shoulders completes, no, it is not too late to get into ICX. What I'm going to ask that you do for an ideal entry, and I'll keep an eye on it tonight too, guys. I am going to be going to dinner, so I'm not sure how available my availability is going to be, but anywhere in this zone, honestly, if you're sitting in front of the computer right now and you're not too picky on your entry, I would go ahead and just get in right now. But if you want that really ideal entry, we can expect it to draw. Oh man, we're not even talking about that much. Just get in now, guys. Talking about 1% of drawdown, probably. I would just get in now. So I think I already have a call. Oh no, I don't have a call open on ICX. So I'll call another one on ICX for you guys. I think that this is a really good entry opportunity for it. So go ahead, and if you got some funds laying around and you want something to get into, I think this is a good opportunity. And we're going to at least see it go at 35% from where it's at. And this is one of those long-term holds for me. So I would say hold this bad boy all the way to 100 from this entry, which I realize is way up there. But, oh man. But look at this. At least I think this lines up. We're about to find out. Not too shabby. So that'd be pretty cool. If we were to find resistance up there, that's 80% from this entry point, 80 to 85%. So I like that entry. I like this entry. I'm glad you guys had me look at this. I might throw some money at ICX tonight. Or some more, I should say. All right, well, I like ICX. I'm going to call that one. Entry is, let's do less than 7,200 Satoshi. Is there a faster exchange to transfer from? Waiting for my GDAX deposit to go through. Is there a faster exchange to transfer from? Are you waiting on your fiat deposit to come in to GDAX? Is that what I'm understanding? I'm going to keep doing this while you type. Man, you really like Robinhood. I'm not a big fan of Robinhood, but I have been playing around with Robinhood a little bit. I'm liking that so far. USD deposit. There's not. Will you be keeping those? Yeah, Brandon. So typically, just because I also day trade Forex, I don't usually day trade my cryptos. I'm starting to do it a little bit more. But to answer your question, for me personally, if I went up to 80% and didn't hit the 100 mark, and it crashed back down, I wouldn't be sweating it really. I would just be like, oh darn, I will wait for the next leg up where it hits 100 and I take profit. It just keeps my life simple. But I will I will keep better tabs on these lesser percentages. 'Cause I know like APPC, I think we hit like 90% on that, and we should have taken profit, but we didn't. So now we're in drawdown. So I'm going to try to be better about letting you guys know when we need to get out early. And just being more active in that way. I'm probably going to have to call less trades if I do that. I think I have like almost 30 trades open right now. So I'm going to have to try to call less trades and just get in and out of them a little bit quicker rather than the long-term hold approach that I typically use. But to answer your question, yes, if we get up to this area and we see now this kind of pullback, I'm probably not going to close, because if we hit resistance here, we're only talking 10%. But if we hit resistance at this top level, I will. I'd say if I expect it to drop more than 20 or 30%, I'll let you guys know to close and re-enter. It's just going to take me keeping a closer eye on it. That's also why I have Kevin and Jordan. Those two I'm paying them to assist. So they'll be able to help me keep track of everything. So. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap up this session. I will be doing 1 hour live trading sessions on a weekly basis going forward. So I appreciate any feedback that you guys have. Again, I will drop the link in the announcements channel for where you can go to leave a review. Reviews definitely help. Let me know what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what you guys want to see more of. So I definitely appreciate it. If you have anyone that you want to refer to the program, please contact Kevin. He will mark down your referral and make sure that once the system is set up, you're getting credit for the people that you have referred to the service. So thank you guys all, and I will see you next week.